Arkeria. There's no written language for Australian Aboriginal people, so in order to convey important cultural stories through the generations, symbols or icons are used in artwork, and Indigenous art is centred on storytelling. Can you share with us the approach you use to depict the stories in your art?
Yes, I will start by quoting my late grandmother, who used to say that language is our soul. So when she would tell stories, we would all sit and listen to her both speak in language and then in English. So that strength in storytelling and passing down to generations is, a very important part of Aboriginal culture. So then for me to be able to take those stories and express them through artwork is something that I hold very, very dear. So I can talk a little bit to the painting that I've got behind me. So my grandmother then gave me the name Lily Rose after the water lilies. So that's my connection to our land and our culture. So when I think about painting myself in a painting, this section here actually tells of the water lily and its stages of growth. So this sort of symbolises the water lily in its state and its place on country. Also being Gamilaroi, we are very connected to the river system. So I've painted that down the bottom. I don't know if you can see very clearly, but that's all of these shapes and lines down the bottom here that connects me to country. And then also being from a very strong matriarchal family, I've then put the women sitting down in the camps in these sections here. And then, of course, our land and our country is rooted strongly behind us all. So when I do paint, I use different symbols to represent things, but also to represent myself in that space. And having the name Lily Rose really, I suppose, to me, centres where I am in that place and what part I tell in that story. So I do use a range of ways to paint.